Hello, Quentin Brown from the Beginner Photoshop video tutorials at msiphotoshop.com. When you come to the page, just enter in your username and password that you created when you signed up for the program and click Remember Me and log on. And you'll be taken to the introduction page and you can access all the videos and tutorials on the right hand side here. Now I like to create a folder called graphics, and this will just help you organize all your tutorials, etc. I'm going to create a new one under graphics and call it tutorials. I'm going to create another one under tutorials and call it files. And then under graphics, as you're going, we'll just show you how to add more folders for all the different files that you're going to have, because over time you're going to have a lot of files that we're going to use. Now you can watch the video, and how I suggest you do this is just watch the video through first and then do it in more detail, download it to your computer. Just right click, save link as, go into our graphics, into our tutorials and just save the video there. Then you can watch it on your hard drive. When you go to click on it, if it doesn't play, just go and download this VLC player and install it, and then it'll look like this. So then you'll just go open file, go to your tutorials folder and open, and it will play it for you. The beauty of using the VLC player is you can watch it in full screen. You can go through and pause and move the player around so you can really get the most out of the tutorials. Usually underneath we'll also include the files that we used in the tutorial. Let's open up Photoshop and just do a quick overview. Now this is our Photoshop interface, and basically up the top here we have our menu where we can access different functions. On the left here we have our tools. Sometimes it will look like this. On the right here we have where we do all our work with our functions, and in the middle is our work area. So let's open up a file and just show you some of the tools we're going to use in these tutorials. As I said, get organized, and I've put my files in my files folder and you can download them underneath this video. Let's just open them. Sometimes you'll see this message come up. It's just saying we don't have the same fonts on our computer, but that's alright because we will just use the fonts that we do have. Go OK. And so now we have 3 files. Now in Photoshop 5.5 it puts them all up the top here so we can just click between them. However, by left clicking and dragging you can move them off the bar so we can interact with them a lot easier. And in the older versions, this is how it will open up. Now let's use our zoom and non-zoom, and here you can click on the different ones. We want to make this a bit smaller. And by dragging on the corners, we can also make it bigger and smaller. On the right here, you'll notice it's got layers. And this is really the key of Photoshop. And these layers you can turn on and off. So for example, if we just wanted a phone without that text in it, we could also go and save for web, and it will not show the layers that we've turned on and off. And up here you can see that you can save it as a GIF, etc. You can change the quality of it depending on what sort of file it is, and you will see the size down here in the bottom left. So let's cancel that now. Another tool we use is what we call a Marquee tool or a select tool. And I'm actually just going to select this area of the screen and I want to delete it. So up here in edit you'll notice we have copy, clear, cut, etc. So we can use these shortcut keys to do things a lot quicker than having to go up onto the menu. So Control X will cut it. So we've actually deleted that screen area. when you're doing work, you must be on the layer that you're working on for it to work. So if we go back to Control Z, if I was on shadow and tried to delete it, it's not going to work because we aren't on the layer that has that in. So Control Z. Now I want to bring some of this information from this file and put it in this file. So by using our eyedroppers on the side here to turn things on and off, we can see what we have. And so I want to bring this background across, and so I can either bring individual files or groups. So I'm going to bring this whole group across and drop it on this phone here. As you can see, it's brought it all across. Now we can also move these layers, so I'd actually like to put this layer behind the phone. So I'm just going to drag it down, and now you can see it's actually behind the phone. And so it's all brought all the different parts of the image across, so I can turn them on and off. And I just want a solid purple color, so I clicked off the banner bottom. Now I want to transform that so it fits the whole screen, so I just go to Edit, Transform and Scale. You'll notice it gets these little marks on it, so I can actually now drag those marks around so I fill the whole screen. And I just use my Move tool to complete the process. So I just click on it and apply. So now I've got this nice purple background in the back of my file. I'm going to take something out of this file now, and I want this nice blue area and the click here to go down the bottom. So again, I just go through and find the layer that I want to put down the bottom. So that's the click here, so I'll drag that across, and I want it to be above everything else, so it's on top, and that's the layer I want there. So I'm just going to drag that across, and again I want it to be underneath, so I put it behind the phone. So I'm just going to drag it down and put it in here. You'll notice it has a black line where it's going to go. I'm going to transform and scale, and I want it to go down and across. Then I can move it either with my mouse or my arrows to position it better. Go OK and apply. Now I've got my button here. I want to make it bigger, so Image, Transform, Scale, and I want to make it bigger. And I'll just use my keys to position it nicely. Apply. I want to take this huge sail and put it in here. Just drag it down. Click on my button again and move it down just a little bit. Click on my huge sail, use my arrows. I also like this 50%. So here it is all together here. I'm just going to move it across and drag it. And again, it's up too high, so I'll just keep moving it down till I get it behind. And you'll notice it's got it here on the side. So I'm going to use my rubber to get rid of it. So I'm just going to rub it out. I had to find it. I'm going to take this information out of this one here. Lorem, just check that it's the right one, and drag it across. And I'm just going to put some more text in there, so I'm going to use my text tool, and I can make this fit better by just moving this around a little bit, and apply. And I'm going to use my edit and transform again to scale it up, and apply, and I can move it around a little bit. And again, I'm just going to use my text tool. This time I'm going to create a new layer, so I just click on new layer. You can see it's created one. I'm going to use my text tool. I'm going to change the color and make it white, and I'm just going to click in here and going to use my transform key again. Click on my arrow to apply. I'm going to add a drop shadow to that, so I'm going to use my layer style, drop shadow, and we can see it down the bottom here. You can change these up or you can just type it in direct. I like to have it 5 and 5. And OK. Might actually move this up the top a little bit so it's sitting on top of everything. So if we now go and increase that so you can see it better, there's our file ready to go. So as you can see, I used my files out of this blue file, files out of this purple file, and put it into a mobile phone. So I can now use this as an ad, and I can also make it transparent. So as you can see, it brought over all the different layers, and so in just a matter of minutes I've created a whole new file very easily. So I could maybe make that go to the left, just move it over a little bit, and there we are. We can change the image size. We want this one to be 650, and so we'll go OK. Now if I want to work on that file and change it around, I would go Save As and put it in here, and we'll call it New. So it just saves it separate from the other one, and we're putting it in our files. And now if I want to save it to a website, I go Save for Web Devices. It tells us down here it's 650. We're saving it as a medium. It's 31 because it's quite a big file. I'm going to put it in our files, and I'm going to call this one 650 and save. So there we are. What I'm going to do is, under this video, I'm going to put the different sizes so you can see how they look on a website. And that's basically the process we're going to be using all the time. Just taking things out of other PSD files to create new files. My name's Quentin Brown, looking forward to seeing you in the next tutorial.